Maria Guy. How are you, Maria?
Good, thanks, Scotty. How are you today
Oh.
on this overcast, drizzly day?
Well, apparently, according to you, I'm being naughty.
Well, that's no surprise to anyone, Scotty, is it?
And it's great to have you on a Monday morning. We are going to talk about lots of sports stuff today.
Yes.
But before we get underway, and he's very nervous over in the corner.
I know, we've got a guest.
We do have a guest. You've done the call out, and it's a very, very good morning to Corey, the legend Rasmussen. How are you, Corey?
Oh, good, Scotty. Thanks. Yourself?
I'm very, very well. You're a bit nervous, but you
Corey.
don't need to be nervous because you're talking sport, and you're talking sports with sports experts Maria Guy and Scotty Day.
Yeah, okay, now we can have a relax.
Now he's really relaxed. And of course, Corey, thanks very much for popping into the studio. And we are talking about something that's coming up in March. It is the Pink Stump Day.
Oh, actually, sorry, Corey, can I just let everyone know that Corey is the president of the Order of the Sports Club at the moment and doing a fantastic job, and I just thought he should come down and tell everyone what's happening at the Sporties.
Okay, well let's.
So we'll go to Pink Stump Day.
Okay, well hang on, let's back it up and talk about the 2020 cricket that was played over the weekend.
Yeah,
Australia Day.
on Aussie Day. Yeah, that was actually a good turnout. We ended up playing 2 games, which was really good. The first one was a bit more competitive, and then followed by a very social one. If you follow the photos on our sports group, you would have seen some funny dressed ladies on the night.
Any standout cricketers amongst the 40 overs?
Oh, 40.
Well, I suppose 80 overs if you played 2 games.
Some people would have played 2 games.
Yeah, a few. Ben Durrance, I think,
still doing
averaged
well?
a 6 every hit.
Oh gosh, nice.
I think most of the attention was on the spas. Seeing a couple of the old blokes in the spa bath half naked was pretty good.
The spa beauties.
You're taking a few ideas out of West Indian cricket.
Yeah,
They have spa baths and
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, it worked well actually.
Brilliant.
It's a relaxed environment.
Brilliant. So Benny Durrans was a batting genius, of course.
And Vicky Ecclestone, she smashed a few good hits too.
Oh, great.
Good on her. She's the president of the East Kimberley Cricket Association.
That's correct, right.
And what about bowlers? Do we see any good bowling?
Yeah, we saw some good ones. We saw some pretty average ones too.
Funny about that.
So were there a few women and children playing, Corey?
Yeah, we had it was quite a few ladies actually played on the day too. Not so much children, it was more adults.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good day.
Just Corey, do you know when indoor cricket's starting?
Not 100% sure about the indoor. I think that's
the indoor.
a while away, but we do have the 2020 comp starting up on the 10th of Feb.
Yeah,
That's right. Nominations in by the 31st.
Yeah, so they'll hopefully get a good turnout. We're hoping to get 6 teams so we can operate a game on the Friday night as well as the 2 games on the Saturday night, which will be
fantastic.
really good. And mix it up a bit.
It has taken over the world, isn't it? 2020 cricket. It's very, very popular, and it's going to be held at Sporties. As Corey said, it's going to be held at Sporties on the 10th of February. The season starts.
And
nomination forms can be found at Sporties. Submitted by the 31st of January, so you've still got a few days to get those nomination forms in.
Team, you can just be put on a
just
team.
sign up your name and we can put you on a team. I think we've got a lot of people doing that, so they'll end up making up a team. No worries.
And Corey, if you get us a fixtures list when it's all organised, we'll make sure that we let people know about when's being played.
Definitely.
And of course, any other information, don't hesitate to talk to Corey at Sporties or get in contact with Vicky, the president of East Kimberley Cricket Association. You can always find her at Mitre 10. Now let's talk about, of course we just talked about the 2020 men's cricket. They're going to be starting on the 2nd of February. Let's talk about a big event that's coming up on the 3rd of March. We have mentioned it a couple of times on Warringah Radio, and that's the Pink Stump Day. Tell us a bit about that, Corey.
Yeah, well, all credit to Vicky. She's brought this one to my attention, and we've been working pretty hard over the last few weeks getting flyers out and advertising it.
Yeah, flyers look great.
We're now looking at hoping to get some ladies in town to donate some pink cupcakes for the day to sell off.
Yeah, great idea.
Should be pretty easily done, I'd say.
Yeah, and we're going to have like a merchandise house, so it's going to be like all pink, and it's like a little shop front set up on the day, and it falls on the regular season for the 2020. So the games
that will just be a special day.
Special day.
Yeah.
And a lot of other fundraising on the day. So.
And of course, this is raising funds for a great organisation, the McGrath Foundation, which has been set up by Glenn McGrath and a lot of other great people in honour of his wife Jane McGrath, who passed away quite a few years ago now from breast cancer,
Yeah.
and the money raised in Pink Cricket or Pink Stump Day or the
Yeah.
McGrath Foundation all goes to employing breast cancer nurses
Yeah, that's fantastic.
all around
Research.
Australia and research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And other sports have also jumped on board. Like I know the rugby club did the Pink Sock Day.
Yeah,
Oh,
they did.
that's right,
They
yeah.
did.
You know,
Yeah.
like other sports are embracing it and really taking it on.
Yeah.
And in
It's
fact,
great.
We haven't seen it like done locally through the cricket here, have we?
No, not yet. So it's
Yeah.
good to
Yeah.
see that happen.
and it's the third day of the fifth test down in Sydney is always the Pink Cricket Day, and
Okay, yeah.
just brilliant. The whole of Sydney just comes out in pink, and they raise lots and lots of money. But and you were talking about the rugby. The Kununurra mob raised a fortune.
Yeah, that year
Yeah.
they
In
raised
that,
a lot of money
yeah.
down at the markets and
It
everywhere.
was one of the
didn't they?
biggest amounts of any organisation in Australia for that rugby. So that's brilliant. And it's great to see, and a very very worthy cause too. Breast cancer is absolutely a terrible disease. And Pink Stump Day, 3rd of March, 3 p.m. in the afternoon for Pink Stump Day. Make sure that you keep in contact with Sporties.
Sporty's
And
got a Facebook page.
Yes,
so,
yeah,
and your,
tell us about it.
yeah.
Our Facebook page?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's happening.
It's just a page to keep everyone alive with what's happening, and also to show them what's happened. So, like for example, if you joined up, the last few posts would be everything that happened over the weekend. We like to keep people involved and share it around, and also it's just it's a way for us to advertise events quickly, and yeah, it's really what it's for.
And while we got you here and we're talking Sporties, of course, the indoor cricket will be coming up very shortly.
Yeah.
You're still planning to do your lawn bowls just to the side there as well?
Definitely. The rain has put a bit of a dampener on the lawn bowls
Yeah.
pitch at the moment. If you have a look, but that will definitely be up and running. We're hoping to have a really big year in sport, and that's also with social darts, pool comps inside.
Yeah, brilliant.
And also the indoor cricket, which we really hope to be able to start.
And no doubt some great football matches on the town oval throughout the season.
And
Yes,
rugby and touch.
Well, some of those
happening.
teams are already down there training too, so it's good to see see the Crows down there on Monday and Wednesday and do their training demons and so forth. So looks like it's going to be a good year ahead.
Yeah,
I
well, I hope we love our sport, don't we?
We
And,
do, Scotty. You have to go and check it out.
and Kununurra sport, and with new people rocking up all the time. And,
Well, Scotty, I was just going to
dedicated
say
people.
that Corey's, the Sporties have come on board, and we're going to have the season opener happening. We're still finalising the date. I think I mentioned it last week, either the 15th or the 16th of March at the Sporties. So it will be an afternoony, evening thing where new people, especially, or people who aren't involved in sports clubs, but we're having all not-for-profit groups there. So new people to town, and there'll be a lot coming in now to start the year, will be able to get to see what's on offer in Kununurra and what they can be involved in terms of volunteering and helping out particular sports clubs and groups and other not-for-profit. Like we have Knit and Natter, we've got the Kimberley Wildlife down there. Well, so saying I haven't told everyone it's happening, but I'm sure they'll be there. Yeah. So we'll get promoting that. And speaking of cricket, what happened to Australia yesterday, guys?
they lost.
Yes.
Well, what happened to the Poms on Australia Day?
Oh, well.
They also lost.
Yeah. Well, thank God for that. Okay, that was the one we wanted to win.
Corey and I were talking about that, and of course the big stadium in Perth, the Optus Stadium, given its official test run, I suppose.
Yes.
First event.
They've done well.
And well, I was pretty impressed and looked good, and there was a few comments, although
few little bugs to work
out. Yeah.
Well, I drove past it in a cab, before December last
year.
year.
Yeah, I saw it last year too.
Some people are calling it the cray pot. The cray pot.
There's always nicknames for stadiums all around the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the cray pot. You're probably correct there. It's it doesn't look like it's quite finished from the outside. But we'll be going down there to see concerts, no doubt, and sporting events and things like that.
Maybe Monster Jam.
You never know.
That's
Sorry,
right.
you never know.
Nitro Circus, all of that. All right, now look.
You want to talk about tennis, Scotty?
I was going to talk about
Locally?
tennis. No.
Are we going to?
Yeah, no. You continue on with netball. Tell us about netball.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're jumping all over the place, but we like to keep the listeners guessing.
There we are.
Netball's kicking off again, guys, too. So they're having a pre-season run, they're calling it, Scotty, down at the netball courts on
Cheeky.
Thursday.
She's being cheeky now.
So I think the run encompasses a bit of training, everyone, for those who are having trouble understanding the word run in netball. There's a lot of running that goes on in netball.
A lot of running.
Also to get probably some new people down too, to get some new teams involved and expand on what's there.
That's right, and I mean, yeah, we all know that netball's such a thriving club in town.
Oh, the biggest participation sport in Kununurra.
That's right. So ladies, I don't think at this stage it's just for the ladies, because that's the competition that starts off. Obviously at the end of the year they have their mixed netball season. Have you played that before, Corey?
Yeah, we were not in the final last year, but we were the finalists in B grade the year before.
Nice. It's a fantastic game, isn't it? Yeah. So, and the netball girls are also looking for anyone willing to be an umpire. You don't have to have any experience. They're going to obviously train you up, which is a great ticket to have for anywhere that you go. And, being an umpire is not always the world's best job, but you just got to have thick skin and do your job, I think, and you'll be well appreciated.
Well, I do the end of year party for the netball.
Oh yes, and, it's like your favourite yearly event.
It is.
Can't wait.
No, it's a hard life.
You got it.
You guys.
I was going to say they do make a special announcement about the umpires and the people that do it. They seem to enjoy it. It's like any of those umpire positions. You need them there.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, some of the supporters and players look negatively against them sometimes.
Put their money where their mouth is, Scotty, and have a go being the umpire.
Absolutely, it's
a
hard job. Yeah, it's a hard job, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
And well done. And of course, the call goes out. So if you'd like to be part of netball and help them out with being an umpire, get in contact with them.
Now, Scotty, should we go to tennis?
We should go to tennis. Now, I was going to mention any local tennis because I don't know anything about tennis.
Yeah,
I don't like the game.
Look, and everyone.
I like to look at it, but that's
I don't like the grunting that goes on.
Scotty, I think we were very negative.
It gives me a sore neck.
Fantastic game. Well, just keep your eyes in the middle of the screen and you can look,
But I do love an absolute champion and
Roger Federer.
Well, we'll go back to Saturday. Of course, well done to Wozniacki. I think from she's a Dane.
Right. Yes.
From Daneland.
Fantastic. She was not sure she was going to win that. But
I reckon that was a cracker of a match. I didn't watch much of it. I watched a bit of it, and once again the grunting put me off. I think I went to tune into something else with grunting.
And Simona Halep.
But last night.
Yes, that's right. Number 2 beat number 1.
Yeah.
But last night, Roger Federer, who has just once again put the stamp on being the GOAT.
Yes, I know. Did you know, I learned that as a young child he said that he was going to be the world's greatest player. And I mean, he's arguably just about there, wouldn't you say?
He has been playing for 16, he has a winning span of 16 years. He has won, he has equalled the Australian Open record of 6, which was held by Novak Djokovic and also Roy Emerson, the great Australian tennis player from a few years ago.
He was the eldest, wasn't he, to win a Grand Slam at 37. So Federer's 36 winning at this time.
Yeah.
And
so next year he'll get it.
Yeah. Oh, he reckons age is not going to hold him back, and I think with that attitude, why would it?
6 Australian Opens. He obviously doesn't like, Roger Federer obviously doesn't like clay. He's only won 1 French Open. He's won Wimbledon 8 times, which is one better than the next best. William Renshaw from England, who won 7. And he's won 5 US Opens, which is a total of 20
Grand Slams.
20 majors.
Yeah.
And he's 4 ahead of Rafael Nadal.
Yeah,
and
that's pretty impressive.
And he's unbelievable. He's 16 against Peter Sampras, and I didn't think anybody was going to get anywhere near Pete Sampras, but Roger Federer at 20. Unbelievable.
don't you reckon, guys, like to play that kind of tennis, it is like just takes such incredible athleticism and endurance.
He is a machine.
Yeah, I think
He is a
really have to be
Swiss machine.
Yeah, I like that.
He
You
is
watched Lauren Davis the week before play, what's her name, the number one Halep, and they went in the third set, and that just kept going and going, and
Yeah.
3 toenails came off,
Oh
and
my
still kept
gosh.
going, and
Right.
only lost it. It went up to like 15.
Yeah, that's
matches.
insane, isn't it? They're
No,
just
she's
hanging
ranked
on by
76,
pure
you know.
perseverance and grit.
Not bad for a
Yeah.
24-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Anyway, we do want to hear about local tennis, so
Yes.
anybody involved in local tennis, make sure you get in contact with Maria. Come
And
on in
Scotty,
and defend your.
Yes, tell us how great tennis is and how wonderful it is. I believe in tennis, Scotty, and we all do in this room. Now, listen, I just have to mention DSR, well, Sport and Rec, Kids Sport funding, which has been happening in town. It used to be run through the Shire local government. Now it's going back to our main office in Leederville. So still the online process, preferably. So any kids out there who are eligible, and that's you've got to have a healthcare card to be eligible, can get up to, used to be $200, unfortunately now with the changes and cuts to government, funding's come down to $150. It's just still significant, goes far, could nearly cover 2 sports that children can be involved in per year. So that's every child in the family with a healthcare card. So look into that, go online, just look into Sport and Recreation, Department of Sport and Recreation, and you'll find it under Kids Sport, all one word. And just check with your club or any club that your child's starting with to see if they could well already be a Kids Sport club already.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Well, keep us informed about all that. Corey, thanks very much for popping in, telling us what's going on at Sporties. Good luck with all your sport. I know that you love running around playing
all. A lot, aren't you? It's actually crazy what Corey's involved in, everyone. But,
and Maria, good luck with your sport.
Thanks, Scotty.
And
same with you, Scotty. We didn't talk about local golf. Goodness grief.
Well, if he likes to talk about tennis, we can talk about golf. It's a good walk, Roomba, following the ball.
Well, I play value-added golf. Hit it as many times as I can. Now, well, talking of golf, Jason Day and Alex Noren have tied the second playoff hole. So they've gone to a par 3, number 16 at San Diego Farmers Insurance Open.
Yeah.
So Jason Day's still in it. He might have his first win in 2 years, apparently.
He's been a bit tardy, isn't he?
Yeah. And of course, Summer Cup is still on, and we will talk about that later on in the week.
Oh, okay, Scotty.
Maria, look forward to your
today.
Yes, we'll look forward to your company next week.
Yes, likewise,
thanks very much for
talking.
talking.
Can I just say that Corey, who was very nervous in the corner, did it extremely well.
You've done very well. We look forward to your company again, Corey.
Thanks, mate. And please.
We didn't talk about golf, but we're going to play a song from Enrique Iglesias and Pitbull regarding golf.
Oh.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.